What up, YouTube? This is Steven, and I'm back with some news about Utada Hikaru. Alright, so as the Utada taught to know, you know, Utada is married, and I was browsing around on aramajapan.com and ran across an article um, where Utada Hikaru sort of addresses divorce rumors. So I'll read the article and give my thoughts and opinions as I go, and afterward I will um, give some more thoughts and opinions. All right, so here we go. Utada Hikaru on divorce rumors. Money is of least importance in a partner. All right, so right off the bat, I'm all like giving Utada Hikaru the side eye, you know, about money is of least importance in a partner. But then again, Utada comes from a privileged background. Let's keep it real. So money was never really an issue. Um, And that's not a slight against her or anything. That's just help. I'm just saying that to help people put things into perspective more. Um, but still, I think Utada may be missing some things. But then again, who am I to say what's good for somebody? Who am I to say if having a rich man is good for Utada Hikaru? Um, I guess Utada Hikaru would be the best person to know who or what's good for her, seemingly. Um, but let's read this article and I'll discuss my opinions a bit more as we go. Okay. Singer-songwriter Utada Hikaru took to Twitter earlier today after reports that her marriage isn't so simple and clean these days. Uh-oh, shout out. Um, at the quote unquote at the bottom of my list of what I look for in a partner, economic strength, the singer wrote. All right, so I'm guessing maybe people are going in on her husband on the fact that he doesn't really have like nearly as much money as Utada Hikaru does. He's probably pretty much from the working class, so maybe that's why Utada felt the need to say, "Hey, y'all, I ain't really concerned about money, you know." But I wonder what is on her list. What is her list when it comes to looking for a man? You know. All right. Um, let's continue on. Back in early 2014, through an announcement on her personal website, Utada announced that she was engaged to be wed to an Italian man, Francisco. I don't know. I don't know if the CE turns into the CH sound or not. Francisco Caliano, and asked fans in the media to view her personal life from a respectable distance as he is not in the entertainment industry. Okay. So, Utada just telling folks, hey, he ain't about this life. Back up. All right. Just back up. Now, from a respectable distance. Let's see. The couple met while she was in London during a period in which Utada took a hiatus from the music industry to focus on herself. Okay, I heard about Utada living in London, well, being in London, but I thought it was more so like a trip. I didn't know she lived in London for a while. See, I'll tell you this, Utada is rich. She had money since she was in the womb, you know? Pretty much like before she was in the womb, she had money. So even if she didn't become famous, she would be probably like a trust fund kid, if she didn't have her own money. She'd be like a trust fund kid at least. So pretty much, she do this stuff for fun. She does this music for fun. She don't do this to pay her bills at this point. All right. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. Let's move on to the next. Francisco worked as a bartender at a hotel in London, but quit before they were to be wed in May of that year. Okay, so why he quitting his job? And if he quitting his job, he should have another job lined up. Is he thinking he's just gonna live off of Utada Hikaru's, money and inheritance and earnings? Like, that's pretty presumptuous of you. But then again, maybe Utada wants to be a sugar mama. Maybe she wants to be a cake mama. Maybe she wants to, um, support a man. Am I one to judge? No, I'm not one to judge. I'm still going to judge, but I'm not one to judge. Through barely even months into their marriage. Oh yeah, a quick note. Shout out to the Utada Hikaru fans, the Utada Tots. But I have a question. How long did they date before they married? Any of you guys know? Thanks. Let's see. Through barely even months into their marriage, the Japanese media reported that Francesco was unemployed, broke, and using his wife for her fortune. And it seems the media hasn't given up on their theory more than 2 years later. Arama, Japan first reported the rumor back in July of 2014. Well, maybe the media is not giving up on the theory because, well, like, is it really a theory at this point? I mean, what is his source of income? Can someone answer me that? I mean, I know that sometimes, some relationships are kind of like that where I guess the gender roles are a bit reversed. And again, is it really my place to judge? No. Is it our place to judge? No, it's not. But of course, we're still going to judge despite not, being people to judge. And I think, unfortunately, that's just a part of human nature. Um, but if it works for Utada Hikaru, I suppose, I guess, do her. If this is working for her. But I feel like this may end up becoming an issue for her at one point or another. Just because either the media is going to turn it into an issue or either it's just going to manifest itself in the marriage or a combination of both, kind of like the media hyping it up plus, issues in the marriage itself. um, so we have a quote from Utada Hikaru, and here it is. When a wealthy man is with a cute girl who thinks highly of him, the world thinks nothing of it. Yet when the genders are flipped, for some reason there's an issue. Boys have it rough. Okay, I've come to realize, through kind of like learning things about Utada Hikaru here and there and listening to, some of her music here and there, Utada Hikaru is probably not the most traditional woman. She isn't probably like the most, she isn't the type that would probably adhere to gender norms and gender roles the most. I've come to notice that, Utada Hikaru, I think she sort of likes to switch up gender roles a little bit. She isn't the most traditional woman, and that's not a slight against her. So don't think that I'm slighting her at all, because I'm not. I'm just trying to point something out. So I think this is partially where things are coming from just Utada Hikaru herself. First it's about her being in a situation from birth where money was never an object, but also Utada Hikaru's own mentality where she just feels like gender norms and gender standards for her don't seem to fit her life. It doesn't seem to fit her very well. All right. Let's see. And the article ends with the following. Now that she has effectively put that rumor to rest, we can focus on what's truly important. Hickey will release her first full album in over 8 years, Phantom, on September 28th, 2016. Less than a month's wait left. All right. I guess seeing, as I heard someone mention, like people don't seem to acknowledge that Utada Hikaru did release "This Is the One." People don't want to acknowledge that on. People don't want to acknowledge that album for some reason. Probably any of her English works. They just like Utada probably wants to pretend like it never happened, and her fans want to pretend like it never happened. So it never happened. But yeah, I'm sure Billboard and Oricon have the receipts on that Utada Hikaru. I'm pretty sure they have the receipts. It did happen, you know. But as far as Utada Hikaru's marriage is concerned, my personal opinion, I think she should have, got a guy with a little bit of money, a little bit. He doesn't have to be like a billionaire, but maybe just enough money, you know. And also, I think people might be a little bit more critical because her husband is not Japanese, and that is like, Utada Hikaru is dating outside of, the race and or the community, however you want to put it. So it's like, well, if you're going to go outside of the race, then people are like, well, hey, kind of like, why are you being like supporting a Westerner, going outside the community when you could just marry inside the community and probably get a mate of higher quality as far as like money is concerned, that stuff. So, basically some people may have some issues because he's like a Westerner, aka he's Caucasian, he's white. And a lot of times people view like Caucasian men, white men, as, having a lot of money. That's not necessarily true, but it's like, well, if you did date outside of the community, why not date a white man that has a lot of money, who can support you? Kind of like, why did you just get like a basic white man, Why do you get like just a regular white dude? So some people may have issues with that because it's like you went outside of the race for this guy to be supporting this guy. Because the thing is, her first marriage, I think the guy was well off in her first marriage, and he was Japanese too. So people are probably making comparisons about that. And like, well, like why? Again, like why? And also people may feel like, well, did you do this specifically to have a, Eurasian child, Because she did get pregnant, I want to say like really quick, but somewhat quickly, because her first marriage, there were no kids from that marriage. And I think they were together for a while. So it's like some people may have some issues with that about her having a Western, like a Eurasian child. It's like, okay, so you go outside the community for a basic white man, and you have your child with him as well. So it's kind of like people have issues with that because they're like, why couldn't you just date inside the community? And if you were to date outside the community, then why isn't this guy of some super high quality, a super high quality guy where it's like, okay, I can see you not, like, you can see why she would go for him, But I've heard that his, people have commented about his looks, and they haven't been good comments either. So it's like, well, okay, well, the looks don't seem like they're anything special, and he doesn't have a lot of money, and, so like, why? I'm guessing, I don't mean to be like shady or anything, but I'm guessing Hikaru, she may have wanted to be in a situation where she could call the shots, you know, and maybe in her last marriage, she couldn't call the shots as much as she wanted to. So I think this is why she got this dude who's, quote unquote, you know, young, dumb, and broke, because she could be in a position to call the shots. Like, I call the shots, like blah, blah, blah. Pay me what you owe me. Don't act like you forgot. All right, but back to the story. But yeah, I think that may be a reason why Utada Hikaru is with this man. And I feel like that could be an issue coming up in the marriage as well. He may at some point get tired of that, if that is the mode of their marriage. As well, maybe Utada Hikaru has somewhat of like, because I think this may be the first Western. I keep saying Western. I hate that. The first white man that she's dated, as far as I know. So maybe she just wanted to get her swirl on. She did grow up in like Manhattan, New York. So I'm pretty sure there weren't like a ton of Asian men in Manhattan, New York. So she may have dated some Western man beforehand. Caucasian man, white man. But yeah. So on one hand, I can understand people having some animosity, about that. But on the other hand, I think ultimately it is a personal choice, despite everything despite everything I said and the valid points that I brought up. At the end of the day, I do think it is a personal choice. This is Utada Hikaru's life that she has to live, so she can't just live it to please, the race or the community. She has to do it for herself. Because at the end of the day, if she does follow the race in the community, like, are they going to be there when things go down, when things get bad? Probably not. Either way it goes, they're not going to be there. So, I think that probably it's just like, it's a personal choice, and that's just something that you have to respect. People's personal choice. Even though you may not agree with it, it is a personal choice that she is allowed to make. Just like you wouldn't want someone to dictate your personal choices that you make in regards to, like, choosing a partner, because, people don't know your story. People don't know what you've been through. So it could be somewhat triggering to have people just speculating about things and not knowing your story, not knowing what you've been through and your personal struggle, So, maybe this guy is someone who kind of like was really encouraging for Utada Hikaru. Maybe he does understand Utada Hikaru as a person. Maybe he does support Utada Hikaru and encourages her to continue music. Because I heard at one point that Utada Hikaru may have thought about giving up music when her mother passed away. So, again, you don't know the whole story. So, I'm going to try to be fair about it. On one hand, I could see where people are coming from. But on the other hand, I could see where Utada Hikaru is coming from. And, again, it's a personal choice. So, yeah. So, I guess love the one who loves you. But, I can understand people wanting to see, Japanese love, versus swirling love, But again, love the one who loves you, support the one who supports you, be with the one who wants to be with you. All right. But I think I said all I have to say. I didn't think I would go on for this long about this subject, but I guess I just had some things to say. So thanks a lot for watching, you guys. Feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to give me a thumbs up. Your feedback and support are extremely appreciated and extremely valued. And to the next video, adios. and goodbye for now.